Hi, I'm Cassie and today I'm going to be making 3 levels of chocolate cake. One for beginners, one for the more confident home cook and one for the more experienced cook. For beginners, I'm keeping it super simple, just 1 bowl needed, minimal equipment and no fancy techniques. This is perfect when you need that quick chocolate fix. Next, I'll be stepping it up with an intermediate recipe. This requires a little bit more technique, resulting in delicious flavours and textures. And finally, for the skilled cooks, we'll be diving into the perfect layered chocolate cake with a rich, silky chocolate ganache and plenty of tips to make you perfect that show-stopping chocolate cake. So all chocolate cakes use cocoa powder as one of the main ingredients to bring that lovely chocolatey flavour. Now, cocoa powder can vary hugely, so when you're buying cocoa powder, there's a few things to look out for. Now, if you are in America or live in the States, you'll find cocoa powder labelled as Dutch or Dutch processed. This means that an alkaline solution has been added to the cocoa powder to neutralise the acidity. This can give it a sweeter, smoother flavour, so if you like something a bit smoother, Dutch processed is the one to look for. If you go for a natural cocoa powder, it'll be a little bit more bitter, but potentially have more of those natural chocolatey flavours coming through. In Europe, we don't use the Dutch labelling on our cocoa powders. Instead, you'll find on the ingredients list that an acidity regulator is often added to the cocoa powder. This will give the same kind of result as a Dutch processed cocoa powder, just smoothing out any of those acidic notes and giving you a lovely creamy chocolate flavour. Cocoa powder is extracted from the cocoa bean or the cocoa pod. Most of the fat has been removed from the cocoa powder. If you look on the ingredients list, most of them tend to have around 20% fat or 20 grams of fat per 100 grams of cocoa powder. This just gives it a really nice smooth finish and it's a good indicator of the quality of the cocoa powder. So you want to look for around 20–22% fat in the cocoa powder. Cocoa powder is different from cacao powder. So cacao is cocoa powder in its raw form, which means it hasn't been heated to a really high temperature, which means it retains some of the nutrients. If you want to use cacao or cocoa in a recipe that's not going to be cooked and you want to retain some of those health properties, look out for cacao powder. It is more bitter, but it has a higher concentration of nutrients and a lovely kind of bitter note to it. Okay, this easy chocolate tray bake is my go-to for birthday parties, for cake sales. It's so easy to make. You just combine your wet and dry ingredients and it's really good for portioning as well. You can just chop it up into squares, decorate it however you like. It's an absolute winner. So all we're going to do is combine the dry ingredients to start. I've got some plain flour, cocoa powder, soft light brown sugar. This will just bring a lovely kind of sweet toffee flavour to the cake. Then we've got some baking powder and some bicarbonate of soda and then a good pinch of salt. Then we'll just give that a whisk together. Okay, so we're going to mix up our wet ingredients. Now I've got some buttermilk here. This is a soured milk and it adds a really nice kind of sour edge to the chocolate cake. It can be quite tricky to buy in the UK, so if you can't find buttermilk, you can use yogurt, which you can let down with a little bit of milk, or you can use some milk with a squeeze of lemon juice. Then our next ingredient, which also complements chocolate really nicely, is some coffee. Now, you won't taste the coffee in the finished chocolate cake. It just, again, brings out those lovely kind of bitter notes of the chocolate cake and balances the flavours really well. And then vegetable oil. Now, vegetable oil in a chocolate cake helps to keep everything really moist. Then some vanilla for more lovely flavour. And then we've just got 2 eggs. Okay, give the wet ingredients a nice whisk together. And then we'll just pour that straight into the dry ingredients. Now in with a hand whisk until you can't see any more lumps of flour or cocoa. Okay, so we're ready to pop that into our cake tin. I've got a large rectangular tin here which I've just lined with some baking parchment. Let's pour that straight in. Okay, into the oven that goes. And I'm going to lick the bowl. Right, now we're ready to mix up the icing. This is a super easy chocolate fudge icing, fail safe. You can use it on all your chocolate cakes and there's no whisking required, which is why I love it. So we're going to melt some salted butter. Again, we've used the salted variety because it pairs really well with the chocolate flavours. Okay, the butter's melted, so now we'll just tip in the icing sugar and of course our lovely chocolatey cocoa powder and a splash of milk. Then we're just going to whisk that all together. And that should come together as a lovely, smooth, fudgy chocolate icing. Okay, we'll leave that to cool down, and I think it's probably time to check the cake. So our tray bake has had about half an hour in the oven. It looks and smells absolutely delicious. I'm just going to leave that to cool down completely before spreading it with our delicious icing. Okay, so the cake and the icing have both cooled down. The icing's thickened up a little bit, so it's this lovely spreadable consistency. Now let's just load it on top of the cake and spread it right out to the corners. There we go, so you can top that with some sprinkles, some chopped nuts, maybe some chopped pieces of chocolate on top, anything you like. It really is as easy as that. That is our simple chocolate tray bake. On to our next cake. This is our intermediate cake. It's a flourless chocolate cake. It's pretty straightforward. There's a few little techniques in here which I'm going to walk you through, but it's not too tasking. So, a flourless chocolate cake, as the name suggests, there's no flour in this recipe, so it's perfect if you're cooking for someone who follows a gluten-free diet. So the first thing we need to do is get some dark chocolate which has been finely chopped, and I'm going to melt that in the microwave with our butter. So into a bowl we go, and that will just take a couple of minutes. I'll stir it every now and again just to make sure it doesn't burn. Okay, our chocolate and butter has melted, that's looking lovely. I'm just going to stir in some cooled coffee, which has just been brewed in some hot water. Set that to one side to cool down a little bit, and now onto the eggs. So you need a nice large bowl, and we're going to whip up the egg whites. Okay, so we just want nice soft peaks with the egg whites. This will take a couple of minutes. Okay, the egg whites look lovely and fluffy. Let's just pop those to one side. Then in another bowl, we'll whisk up the egg yolks. So I've got some caster sugar going in. And then for some lovely caramel flavours, some soft light brown sugar. And then for some extra flavour, some vanilla extract. Now in again with the electric whisk until moussey and fluffy. After a few minutes, the egg whites will look lovely and moussey and the sugar has dissolved. So pop this into a larger bowl, and then we'll stir through the rest of the ingredients. Now we're going to sieve in the cocoa powder, and then we'll fold in this lovely chocolate mixture. Okay, nice big spatula, and we're going to fold everything in until there's no more streaks of the egg yolk. So I'm going to go in with a nice big scoop to start, and we'll just use that to loosen this mixture. Okay, and once that's combined, we'll just go in with the rest of the egg white mixture. Gently fold this together, just lifting the chocolate mousse from the bottom over the egg whites. We don't have any raising agents in this cake. There's no baking powder or bicarbonate of soda, so the egg whites are doing the job of adding the air and making this cake nice and light. I've prepared a cake tin here. We've got a 23 centimetre springform tin, just fully lined with a sheet of baking parchment. Let's just pour that gently into the tin, smooth out the top, and into the oven that goes. Now this cake will have a lovely brownie-like texture in the middle, so when it's time to skewer the cake, it will still come out with some wet, sticky chocolate crumbs on the skewer. Don't worry, that's perfectly normal. Just trust in the recipe. Off to the oven we go. So here we are, our finished flourless chocolate cake. Now this cake does characteristically sink in the middle as it cools. Don't worry, this doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. This is all part of the rustic charm of a flourless chocolate cake. So to finish this off, you can either dust it with some icing sugar if you've got a bit of a sweet tooth, or if like me, you want to bring out those bitter kind of chocolate notes, you can dust it with some cocoa powder. So there we have it, a rich and intense flourless chocolate cake, the perfect chocolate cake for a chocolate lover in your life. Okay, so we're on to our ultimate chocolate cake recipe. Now this is for the chocolate lovers out there. It's a little bit more advanced in terms of skills and techniques, but I'm going to walk you through it step by step so anyone out there will be able to give this a go. So first up, we're going to melt some dark chocolate in a pan with some butter and coffee. Set this over a nice low heat and just melt it gently until everything's combined. Okay, let's combine our dry ingredients. So we've got a nice big bowl and we're going in with 2 types of sugar. So we've got golden caster sugar and some light muscovado sugar. Then we've got a combination of self-raising flour and some plain flour, some bicarbonate of soda, that lovely rich cocoa powder, and finally the essential pinch of salt. And we'll just give that a good mix, making sure there's no lumps of sugar in there. Let's just pop that to one side for 1 second and we're going to combine our eggs with some buttermilk. And we'll add 3 eggs and just give those a quick mix together. Right, we're ready to bring the chocolate cake mixture together. So dry ingredients, and we've got the beaten egg mixture going in, followed by that lovely chocolate and coffee mixture. Get every last bit into the bowl. Then let's just give everything a really good mix together. That looks gorgeous. Now I've prepared my tin here. This is a 20 centimetre loose bottom springform cake tin, and you need a nice deep tin for this recipe because we're going to cook it all in one tin and then split the layers after it's baked. So in we go. And then into the oven that goes. Our ultimate chocolate cake has cooked and cooled, and now we're ready to slice it up. Now, the recipe for this says to slice the cake into 3 layers, which can be a little bit tricky if you don't have a top tip, but lucky for you, I'm going to share one right now. So, what we're going to do is use a serrated bread knife and just score exactly where you want to cut around the circumference of the cake. So, I'm going to go for a line about a third of the way down, and just carefully score all the way around the outside, but we're not going to cut into the cake just yet. Then we'll do the same again about a third of a way up from the bottom of the cake. Okay, I've scored my lines. Now I'm going to take a piece of cotton thread and just feed that into that groove you've made around the edges of the cake. Okay, cross the threads over and then we're going to pull, and the thread will cut through the middle of the cake just like a cheese wire cutting through cheese. Then I'm using a slim chopping board and we'll just slide off the layers one by one. Now let's make the silky delicious chocolate ganache, which is going to pull this whole cake together and keep it really moist. So I've got some double cream here. We're just going to sweeten that up with a little bit of sugar. And then we'll warm the cream until it's almost boiling, so really steaming hot, not quite boiling. Then in the meantime, I've chopped up some dark chocolate and popped it into the bowl. Now you want to chop this nice and fine because the heat from the cream is going to melt the chocolate. If you have any big chunks, then it won't melt sufficiently and you'll have a lumpy ganache. Okay, the cream is steaming hot and the sugar's dissolved, so we're just going to pour that all over the chopped chocolate. And we'll just leave it for a couple of minutes, stirring every now and then, and you'll see it will just turn into a gorgeous glossy ganache. Okay, so after a few minutes, here we have a classic chocolate ganache. So I'm going to leave this for about 10 to 15 minutes. It should thicken up enough to be able to spread it between the layers of the cakes, and then we're going to cover the outside in the cake as well. The ganache is at the perfect spreadable consistency now, so let's assemble the cake. Right, top tip, whenever I'm making a cake and I want a nice flat top, I invert the cake onto the cake stand. So first of all, what I'm going to do is just add a tiny blob of the ganache, which will just hold the cake in place. Then we'll take the top layer of the cake. Now it may have cracked a little bit in the oven, which is absolutely fine. We're going to flip it over and you won't see any of those cracks. So let's add a nice generous layer of that chocolate ganache filling and spread it out right to the edges. Okay, on to the next layer. I'm just going to use my nice thin chopping board to slide the cake layer onto the cake. Now for the final layer, so slide it onto your chopping board and then use your hand to support the cake as you flip it over, and then we'll slide it on top. Okay, so let's use the rest of this ganache to cover the outside of the cake. I'm going to pile it all on top and then just use a palette knife to spread it across the top and down the sides. Okay, that looks gorgeous. Now I'm just going to use a really hot cloth and wipe away any excess ganache on the plate. And now we're ready to top it with something extra special. So here I've got some chocolate shavings, and I've made these just by running a cook's knife over the back of a block of dark chocolate. You could just use some grated chocolate if you want, but these add a really nice finish. So let's just sprinkle those all over the top, that extra hit of chocolate. So there we go, our ultimate chocolate cake, perfect for any big celebration and maybe not as difficult as you may have thought. So there we go, our 3 levels of chocolate cake. That's our easy chocolate tray bake, we've got our intermediate flourless chocolate cake and the more advanced ultimate chocolate cake. I know which one's my favourite, I'm going to enjoy a slice. You can find the recipes at goodfood.com or on the app. Enjoy!